What's going on, everybody? And today, I'm going to be going over my top 10 Best Picture winners. So, the Academy Award for Best Picture, I'm going to go over my top 10 of those. I have a few honorable mentions. I have about 5 honorable mentions, and they are Titanic, Silence of the Lambs, Million Dollar Baby, The Departed, and Moonlight. So, those are my honorable mentions. Here's my top 10. Ready? Coming number 10 is going to be Lawrence of Arabia. What a phenomenal movie. The size of this movie is amazing. It's so big in scale. This is probably the most epic movie I've ever seen, ever. The performance from Peter O'Toole is like one of the greatest performances of all time. And just the visuals in this movie, how everything, there's no like computers, it's all like real. And that's what makes it really cool with the explosions and stuff. So because it's all real, even though it may be about 4 hours long, it's still amazing. I like the talking scenes a lot when they're just talking. I love dialogue in movies. That's probably like my favorite part of movies is dialogue. It's it's one of the greatest movies of all time. Everybody knows that. Coming in number 9 is going to be Schindler's List. This is a tearjerker, bro. This movie is so sad. I cried multiple times during this movie. The performances the performances are really good by Ralph Fiennes, which is one of the best supporting roles of all time, and Liam Neeson, which he's also really good in this movie, and I do think he should have won the Oscar, but I haven't seen the movie that the other guy's in that won the Oscar, but he's amazing. And Ben Kingsley in this movie is really good too. The performances are amazing, and how it's black and white, and they use the color with the girl with the red jacket. I think that is amazing. This is Spielberg's best movie, in my opinion. Or best movie and my favorite of his movies. It's even though I haven't seen Raiders of the Lost Ark or like his other popular movie, Jurassic Park. I haven't seen either, but this is my favorite movie of his, and it's amazing. One of the best movies of all time. Number 8 is considered the best movie of all time, which is The Godfather. Woo! Everybody knows how good this movie is. It is amazing. It's not as good as the second one, but it's still a perfect 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5 movie. The performances are some of the best performances we've ever gotten in film. Marlon Brando as the Godfather. We have Al Pacino as Michael Corleone. We have James Caan. We have Robert Duvall. We have Diane Keaton. We have so many people. The cast is stacked, and everybody gives a great performance. Oh, everybody knows this movie is amazing. Coming number 7 is going to be One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This is another movie where everybody gives an amazing performance. This is probably the most well acted movie I've ever seen in my life. Jack Nicholson, I think it's my favorite male leading actor performance of all time. I think he's amazing. Brad Dourif is really good. The lady that plays the nurse is really good. I still need to see that show they made about her, but I'll get to that. Just the performances from everybody. Danny DeVito, Christopher Lloyd, so many people that I don't know the names to, but so many people give like some of the best performances of all time. It's an amazing movie. Coming number 6 is going to be a movie I watched very recently for the first time, and that is Gladiator. Woo! Are you not entertained? This movie is very entertaining, and I tried watching this film maybe like 6 months ago. I didn't really pay attention, but I really paid attention this time, and the story is actually a really good story. And Russell Crowe, I don't know if he deserved the Oscar, but he's still really good in this movie. And Joaquin Phoenix, woo! This isn't his best performance, but Joaquin Phoenix, man, is so good in this movie. And the action scenes, how well shot the action scenes on, the effects, they still hold up, and it's just, again, a really epic movie and grand in scale. It's so amazing. Coming number 5 is going to be American Beauty. This movie is very sad. Not like one of the saddest, but at the end, I cry like every time. The performance by Kevin Spacey is amazing. Top 5 of all time for performances. This movie's top 10 of all time. I think this movie is amazing. Performances are like really good all around the board. We got Kevin Spacey, we got Annette Bening, we got Thora Birch, we got Mena Suvari, Wes Bentley, Chris Cooper, Allison Janney. Everybody is so good in this movie. And I may talk about this movie more in another video, but I'll save that for another time. Coming in number 4 is going to be The Godfather 2. Whew, this is like top 5 of all time. No. I think 4 through 1 is my top 4 movies of all time. These movies, some of these movies that I'm about to talk about are just phenomenal. Some of the best of all time, especially The Godfather 2. I watched this movie last night, and it is amazing. The performance by Al Pacino, I think it may be his best performance beside Dog Day Afternoon, The First Godfather, and Scarface. Whew, and then Robert De Niro is like amazing as the supporting role. And just everybody in this movie is good. I like the story more in this movie than the other movie. I just found this movie, even though I found them both really entertaining and they didn't drag, I found this movie more entertaining. And I think Michael Corleone might be like top 3 movie characters of all time. He is such an amazing movie character. Wow. Amazing performances all around the board. Number 3 is going to be another one I watched recently, Amadeus. This movie, I got a feeling that I've never got before watching this movie. It was a kind of a feel of happiness that I've never got before in a movie. I just got so happy over this movie because of how Amadeus, or the guy that plays Amadeus, how he laughs. I think is really funny how he laughs, and I think the beginning hour of this movie is like amazing. And F. Murray Abraham gives like one of the greatest performances of all time as, I forgot his name, but the rival to Amadeus. And Amadeus, the guy, I think his name is Tom Hulce. I think he gives one of the best performances of all time too. He's so good, and how it's so sad at the end because of what happens in the movie is it's so sad. Coming number 2 may be a surprise, but it's The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. Woo! I've already talked about this movie enough. Used to be my favorite movie of all time, but you'll see that my favorite movie get a little bit higher, like in a couple seconds. This movie, epic movie with performances, really good performances, especially by Viggo Mortensen and Sean Astin is really good, and the effects. The effects are like some of the greatest of all time. They even beat out some of the effects nowadays. They're just like amazing, and how it's so long. I love that, and I do watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy on like a weekly basis or a two week basis. I watch these movies. I've seen them like over 20 times. These movies are amazing. I can watch them over and over and over again, and they're just like so good. The other 2, I do agree, the other 2 should have won Best Picture, but we'll talk about that on another list. And coming at number 1 as the Best Picture winner, my favorite Best Picture winner, in my opinion, and my favorite movie of all time, Braveheart. Woo! This movie is epic. Another epic movie. The war scenes, the battle scenes are some of the best battle scenes of all time. The emotion this film has, especially at the end of the movie and the beginning of the movie. I can watch this movie like over and over again. I don't feel the 3 hours. It feels like an hour and a half because it's just so good. And it's like I don't know if I'd call it fast pace, but it goes faster, and performances and the side characters are like really good. I do think Mel Gibson should have gotten an Oscar nomination because he's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite performances of all time too, by William Wallace. And just the ending and the end scene might be like top 5 scenes of all time. I just think it's amazing, and it's such a good movie. It's my favorite movie of all time. So it's just so good. Thank you guys for watching. And drop in the comments down below what are your guys' top 10 or top 5 best picture winners. And I'll see you in the next video.